this is gonna go. I'm just it's dead. So goodbye. Hello again. I'm back and I hope you've missed me. January was pretty depressed for me, and today the sun is shining, so why not make a little video? I would like to take you on a little journey into my kitchen, and I'll show you sort of a reenactment of what happened last weekend. We were making dinner, my spouse and I had just walked away from the stove for a minute, waiting for the green beans to start boiling. And before I knew it, Menno said, "What, is it boiling yet?" And we went back to the stove and there was no water left in the pan, in the pot. So I took it off the fire and I put it on this thingy, and I think it's broken. So needless to say, the pot was very hot. We let it cool down, we let it soak in water, and it's completely clean now, so that's good. And because all our vegetables were in a hanging basket inside the pot, they weren't burnt at all and we could still eat them, so thank God for small blessings, I suppose. But this is broken. I can't be using this pot holder anymore. And this one was from IKEA, and as you can tell by the crinkly sound, whatever kind of padding was in here is quite molten into a little plasticky thing. And also, you know, if you wash this, it doesn't come out. So this is gonna go. I'm just it's dead. So goodbye. I'm gonna make a new one. Why not? Small favors, little projects, something fun to do. I've got a little bit of blue cotton, just a plain weave, maybe a little bit of polyester in here. I'm not quite sure. I could, yeah, it smells like fabric. I don't know what it's made of. But it's a little over 1 meter long, so that should get me a good couple of pot holders. Now I'm gonna need to measure whatever I threw on the floor just now, just so I get a sort of a similar shape. And I'm gonna need some stuffing, some padding or some quilting batting just to fill it up, so that if you grab it, it's not just one layer of thin cotton that you're grabbing onto the pot with. So I need an inside and outside and some batting in between. Maybe a little decorative stitching we can design. Not sure yet, but come along and we'll figure it out. Right, here we go. We've got the old pot holder, pen and paper just to make notes, a nice ruler with a straight edge, the fabric, and let's see what's in box number 1. So this is a very fluffy batting I used for a winter coat for my stepdad, who's notoriously cold. And this, I believe, is quilt batting, which may or may not be cotton or bamboo. So that may be actually more suitable than this very thick polyester batting. Shall we set it on fire so we can see if it melts? Oh, sounds like fun. Let's do that. The water is just for when I've started burning this and it catches on fire or it burns too quickly. I can just dunk it in here safely and extinguish the flames. And there's no harm, no foul. I mean, it will be wet, but if it's plastic, we'll still be able to feel that it's hard and brittle like the pot holder that's discarded now. So we don't have an actual fire extinguishing system in this atelier, so maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Wish me luck. Let's hope I don't burn down the building. So that really wants to burn. You saw how much trouble it was to fan the flames out. It's still smoldering, so I'm just going to put it in here. It smells a bit like burning wood, so that could be bamboo or cotton. And it leaves a powdery residue on my fingers. And it's not synthetic at all, so that is a very good sign. It's just a powdery residue, so this is quite safe to use in a pot holder. Yay, that's a good sign. Yay, we can use this. And I didn't set the building on fire, so there's another plus for you. I'm gonna wash my hands and be right back. So we need to determine the size of the pot holder. This is 22 by 23, so it's not actually square. That may be because it shrunk in one direction, I don't know. So we could easily just take a corner of this blue cotton. I mean, you can see I've pre-washed this, so it's probably not going to shrink very much. Just measure it out from this selvage over here. And I'm just using a really big and chunky chalk pencil because it's not that accurate marking that I'll need. So let's go for 23. Like so. By 23 as well. So that is one. And because we want to sandwich the batting in between the top and the bottom layer, we need 2 layers for each one. So I need this one and cut it out here as well. But I need to iron the fabric first to make sure that it's, you know, it's a good straight line. Just a second. And through the power of editing, suddenly all the creases are sort of gone because I have no patience. I just started ironing before it was completely hot. So we need a 23, which is right until there. There. 2 lovely squares of fabric, double layer. It should work well. Why are you not pinning on it? Well, I don't think it's really necessary. Cotton is a very well-behaved fabric, and it's seen what I do with bad cottons. And I've got the lighter quite close by here. So if it's not behaving, I can just set it on fire. As a warning to other fabrics that are not behaving. Maybe I should make an ASMR video with just the sound of me cutting fabric. Cotton screaming silently in the background. You know, stuff like that. That's what YouTube dreams are made of. There we go. This can go, and this can go. Bye. All right. Now I need a square of batting to put in between these, but I can use these squares as a guide to cut them out. And I also need a piece of cotton bias tape to put around it. So let me just grab one that makes sense. I have a ton of bias tape to choose from, but you know, maybe I could do a little bit of the Morgan Donner vibe here. Or maybe the blue, just the same blue. I think that would be boring. Let's see, what else do we have? How about pink? No. I've got white, I've got brown, I've got turquoise. I mean, when am I ever going to use up the turquoise anyway? I mean, there's 20 meters on this, so. Would that look odd? I think that's all right, isn't it? Choices. Yeah, why not? Let's go for the turquoise one. Make it a little fun project. Now, next up, I'm going to use rather a large chalk pencil again and draw in some lines from corner to corner and then have some parallel lines. I've already done this, but the camera wasn't running, so poo on me. I also made a wonderful mistake by making this 6 centimeters instead of 5 centimeters. So I'm going to have to take care that it's this line and not that one. And this line and not that one. So that should, right? This is quite clear. And because the binding will be turquoise, I thought it would be a nice gesture to actually stitch the potholder in turquoise as well. And because the contrasting thread will not be very visible if it's just one skein, I'm just going to add 2 skeins on the top, 2 spools of thread, and just use 2 to make it a little better. Let's see. Better visible as we stitch, and to increase that effect I'm also going to increase the stitch length to 3.5 because the longer stitches will show up better than short stitches. And because I'm always happy to show off my gadgets, I'm going to use a walking foot to make sure that the top layer is transported through the machine just as well as the bottom layer will be. So just pull the thread through here and let's go. And then I'm going to work my way out to the sides. That's the stitching done for now. Time to remove the pins and to clean up this mess of threads everywhere, like here and here and everywhere. I am not very good at making not a mess of my stitching right now. It's been too long since I've been behind the sewing machine. Yeah, but maybe we'll remedy that. One thing I could also do is clean up the edges here. Like the batting is sticking out a bit, and that would be hard if the bias tape has to go over it. So I can just trim this down a little bit, take off the excess, like that. Just make it neat. This is absolutely unacceptable behavior with quilting or potholdering or sewing. I mean, it's a little difficult if you want to make something that fits you and you end up trimming off your seam allowance more than you originally intended, but there's this pot holder, there's really not much to change about the size. It's going to work for my hands, I'm sure. I mean, if I put the old one on top of this, it's already larger. I mean, they stitched it in a corner. I can still do that. I'm not sure if I want to do that, but yeah, just trimming off the little excess threads. There, that looks neater. Oh, there's some still down here. Did you see I almost cut into my fabric there? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It does all of its own stunts. There. You can see that there's on the top side it looks fine, but on the bottom side there's quite an edge here. So I'm just going to trim it down from this side as well, making it a little odd shape. But if somebody wants to come over and check the angle of my pot holders with a ruler, just don't do that to me. This is fine. It's a pot holder. It doesn't have to be perfect. I've cleaned it up. I've trimmed down all the excess bits and I've put the bias tape around the entire edge, just so it, you know, it makes sure all the raw edges are enclosed. And I've left a little bit of a loop here. Now in the original, you can see they stitched it down and then pushed it under this bit of bias tape, so the raw edges are quite secure in here, and that gives you the loop to hang it up. So I can do that with this, like start over here, stitch all the way over here, or the other way around, doesn't matter, but stop at this edge to secure it, and then you can just fold it under here. I hope that's visible. You can just scooch it under here and you've got a nice little loop to hang it up. But on this one, I've left it a little bit too short, so I don't think it will leave enough of a loop. If it has to go in there, that's quite a small loop. That's not going to work. So instead, I'm just going to stitch this one down through here with this stitching, just to make sure that it's secure. I don't think it will fray because it's cut on the bias, and it'll leave enough of a loop to hang it up by. So I'm just going to stitch these, get this thing out of here again, and I'll be right back. And that's it, they're done. It was just a 2-hour project for me, including all the video repositioning and forgetting to press the record button a couple of times and have to redo it. But this was a nice, fun little project. And I wouldn't recommend you burn your own pot holders just so you can do this. This will be a wonderful Mother's Day gift maybe, or just something to practice stitching in a straight line, which I didn't do very well. I also noticed that both loops are facing other ways, so I'm sure it's fine. Who cares, right? They'll fit. They'll work. So these are going home with me today. I found another thread I could snip. These are going home with me, and might even be used in tonight's dinner, and I hope they'll last me a good long while. Thank you for being very patient with me. I know I haven't been on YouTube a lot, and maybe you've missed me, maybe you haven't. I can't make any promises about the next video. I do have some ideas, but if there's something specific you'd like me to tackle or to discuss, please let me know, because these times are weird and maybe I can do something fun for you. So for now, I am going to clean up all of the bits and bobs still lying around the atelier, clear the space, sweep the floor and put my new pot holders to good use tonight. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing. I'll put some links in the video description about ways you can find me on the internet, and well, take a look. Who knows what you might find. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.